Hello and welcome to Coffee with Craig. I know, big surprise, right? Normally you guys on Sunday mornings, you guys are expecting this to kind of be kind of a casual pre-recorded video. But today is an important day. It's New Year's Eve. Well, if you want to make an impact on civil rights for 2017, today's going to be your last day to do it. All right. How are you going to be able to do that? Well, we're actually working right now trying to raise money for the Firearms Policy Foundation. It's a nonprofit 501c3 that basically functions in the area of litigation. You know, we here at FPC, we do legislative work. We work in legislatures across the country in order to help fight for your right to keep and bear arms. Sometimes we are successful, and we've had many, many successes in 2017. Sometimes, unfortunately, we're not. Well, guess what the next step is? The next step is to actually be able to fight for your rights in the courts. And that's where the Firearms Policy Foundation comes in. We are encouraging you to make one last contribution this year to the Firearms Policy Foundation. And in support of our efforts, our good friends at Martin B. Redding are actually contributing this 6-hour P238. We had a chance. We showed it to you yesterday. You guys had the chance to see it. I was actually at their store. You had a chance to take a look at it. They told you all about it. Fantastic, cool little, especially if you have a CCW, it's a cool carry weapon. You're going to want to enter in order to be able to win, in order to be able to win this. But most importantly, you know what? You're going to want to be able to support the fight for civil rights, right? I mean, isn't that what you'd like to do? I don't even need to say it. You're going to do it anyway. Now, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, you do not have to donate to enter, but you do have to enter to win. So if you follow the link in the description of this video, it'll tell you how you can donate, as well as, you know, how you can enter to win. And obviously, anyone who donates is automatically just entered to win. So anyway, take a few minutes. I'll be doing some live feeds today. Once again, encouraging you to do this and to contribute. It's vitally important. As you guys know, we're still dealing with the results of gunpocalypse. We're still dealing with obviously some regs that have just recently come out. We're still dealing with some regs we're still waiting on to come out. And all of these things, all of these lawsuits, all of these things need to be litigated. The only way they can be litigated, quite frankly, is with your help. So that's going to be my pitch for now. I'll be doing the pitch a little bit more later in the day, but I would encourage you guys to once again be a part of the fight for civil rights. Make one last tax-deductible contribution to the Firearms Policy Foundation before the year is over. So moving right along, I wanted to actually talk about kind of the news stories. I went back through all of the old coffees, and I wanted to kind of get an idea of what were the top stories of the year. At least, and when I say top stories of the year, for us, it's the videos that got the most views from you folks, our audience. What were the things that really kind of got under your skin? So here's what I did in the interest of time. I narrowed it down to the top 3. These are the top 3 most viewed morning coffees, Coffee with Craig, storylines that you guys followed this year. So we'll take them kind of in reverse order. Number 3 was Joe Biden. When Joe Biden decided he was going to chime in and say that, well, you know, he was talking about the Texas shooting and just how he just felt like the person who had the firearm that wound up actually ending the Texas shooting, yeah, he should have never had that firearm. That firearm should have never been in his possession. Quite frankly, I guess, well, I'll let you listen to his words once again.
All right, we have in the front row again, we have Republicans, Democrats, people from all walks of life. We have Brianna with a question about gun control.
Hello. Hi. So with the tragedy that just happened in Texas, my question is, how do you justify the Democratic view on gun control when the shooter was stopped by a man who was legally licensed to carry a gun?
Well, first of all, the kind of gun being carried, he shouldn't be carrying. assault weapons are. I wrote the last serious gun control law that was written. It was law for 10 years, and it outlawed assault weapons and it outlawed weapons with magazines that had a whole lot of bullets, and so you can kill a whole lot of people a lot more quickly. Number one. Number two, it's just rational to say certain people shouldn't have guns. Now, the fact that some people with guns are legally able to acquire a gun and they turn out to be crazy after the fact, that's life. There's nothing you can do about that.
So you guys remember that story, right? So in other words, his whole point was, well, this guy should have never had this gun because, quite frankly, evidently he believed that the shooting should have just kept on going. Right now, and for those of you who maybe haven't been following kind of the landscape, a lot of the political landscape at the national level, a lot of folks are saying that Joe Biden, Uncle Joe here, is going to be the kind of the leading candidate, right, at least right now, for the Democratic nomination for the presidential campaign in 2020. So keep your eye on Crazy Joe, old Uncle Crazy Joe, because we all know he's going to say or do something else incredibly stupid. If not incredibly stupid, at the very least, we know he's going to do and say something incredibly anti-gun. Moving on to number two. Number two on our list, earning the bronze. That would be Corrine Brown, who got 5 years in federal prison for, corruption, for embezzlement of funds from a nonprofit that she and some of her staff had helped set up. She is a part of our wear or wearing orange, #wear or #wearing orange campaign. Yes, I know that normally every town has been trying to push that, but what we've done is we've adopted it. We've adopted it every single time an anti-Second Amendment politician winds up either arrested for, charged with, convicted of, sentenced for criminal charges, and we recognize that they're going to be doing some jail time. They're going to be wearing the prison orange. We decide to bring them out and don them in #wear or #wearing orange. Well, Corrine Brown is one of the most recent, not the only, there are many, but one of the most recent folks to join the #wearing orange crowd. So let's check her out.
But these are homegrown terrorists, and I don't understand why one person should have the opportunity to shoot over 200 bullets, over 49 people killed, and 53 in the hospital. Explain that to me. In 1994, I voted for the ban. I want more than just no fly, don't buy. I want to ban these guns. Those guns was created for the military. And if you're hunting, the only thing you're hunting with those guns are people.
Yes, we we know, and I won't even begin to get into our feelings about Miss Corrine Brown. But as we know, she was arrested. Not just arrested. I'm sorry. She was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in federal prison for her role in this particular scandal. And you folks just seem to love when people get caught being hypocritical. And sure enough, Ms. Brown, the not so honorable Corrine Brown, she'll be doing her time in orange. And the top story of the year. The top story of the year, as voted on, once again, I say by y'all, because you guys are the ones who watch the videos. The top story of the year is the Massachusetts representative who decided to say that the right to own a firearm, that your constitutional right to keep and bear arms, according to her, that is a privilege. Let's read what she actually happened to say. She said, "It is a privilege that we allow individuals to hold on to something that causes them harm and death," Decker said. It is a privilege to have a car license. It is a privilege to have a gun license. Wow. It is. You guys have all seen the video where well, there've been a few of them, but you've seen the videos where they have the anti-gun politicians saying the most outrageous and stupidest things. This, I'm sure, if we could find video of this, of her saying this anywhere, I'm sure would definitely fall in line with that particular video. But I think one of the things that all three of these examples, once again, most of you have in common is you have people who are making comments that clearly, through their comments, do not demonstrate that they do not know what they are talking about, whether it has to do with the technology of firearms, whether it has to do with the law relating to firearms, or even more importantly, when it comes to our fundamental constitutional rights and firearms. I deal with this stuff every day. I deal with these folks every day, and the worst part about it is I get it. People are going to be ignorant. There are people out there who are ignorant. Ignorance is simply the lack of knowledge. But these are folks who are willfully ignorant. They choose to be ignorant. They choose to not know what they're talking about because it helps with their political agenda, which is to kowtow to those who would have your civil rights taken away, those who would have you be made a victim of. And I think that's probably why you guys watch this, because it infuriates you the same way it does myself. But I can only tell you this: 2018, there's going to be more of it. There's going to be more of it, and that's why we need folks like you, who are willing to take the time out of their day to, one, get to know your rights, to follow the information, to get the information that's out there, and then let others know. Let people know about the Firearms Policy Coalition. Let's make 2018 the biggest year of growth for FPC and for the work that we do. When I say we, I'm not just talking about me. I'm not just talking about the folks who work here at FPC. I'm talking about you. We call ourselves a coalition for a reason, and that is because we have chosen to join with you, the grassroots activists, the American gun owner, the American citizen who wants to exercise their constitutionally enumerated right to keep and bear arms. We have decided to form a coalition with you in order to beat back those who would seek to make victims of us all by taking away our right, our fundamental human right to be able to defend ourselves. Let's make 2018 the year of self-defense, the year of the right to keep and bear arms, and let everybody know that the Firearms Policy Coalition will not stand for anyone taking away our fundamental rights, our fundamental civil rights. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me today, at least for Coffee with Craig. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, like I told you, we'll be doing some live feeds throughout the day. Once again, encouraging you to contribute to the Firearms Policy Foundation. Please remember to do that. Remember, you'll be entered in to win the SIG 238, 6-hour 238, fantastic carry gun. Folks, please, 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 please. Help us by being a part in the fight for civil rights. We have got to use them or we are going to lose them. Take care. Have a happy new year.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.